Dear viewers and learners, Assalamu alaikum, and I would like to welcome you all to my online English class. This is Hosneara, lecturer, Department of English, Carmichael College, Rangpur. Well, today I am going to have a lesson on first paper English of class 12, and the topic I have selected to be discussed is taken from Unit 5, Lesson 2. I hope this lecture will be beneficiary both for the students of first year and second year of SSC. The heading of the topic is Eating Habit and Hazards. That is the Luncheon. After reading the lesson, we will be able to know the hazards of overeating, a short story, the use of wit, humor, irony, and flashback in a story, meaning and use of some important idioms, grammar used in the short story. Dear viewers, now I am going to talk about the life and works of William Somerset Maugham. The story, The Luncheon, written by William Somerset Maugham, is a popular short story. Maugham was born on January 25, 1874 in Paris, France. He was a renowned British novelist, playwright, essayist, short story writer, and the highest paid author in the world in the 1930s. He got his early education in Paris. At the age of 10, he was admitted to King's School, Canterbury in 1884. He returned to England to study medicine at St. Thomas Hospital in London in 1892. Very interestingly speaking, though he was a qualified doctor, he abandoned medicine after the success of his first novel and play. He followed a clear, lucid style to present a profound understanding of human nature. His first novel, Lisa of Lambeth, was published in 1897. His dramatic career began in 1903 with the drama A Man of Honor. His first collection of short stories, The Trembling of a Leaf, was published in 1920. He died on December 15, 1965 in Nice, France, of pneumonia at age of 91. Before going to discuss the short story, we have to know the definition of a short story and its fundamental elements. A short story is a fictional work of prose which is shorter than a novel in length. Edgar Allan Poe said that a short story should be read in one sitting, anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours. In contemporary fiction, a short story can range from 1000 to 20,000 words. Mohesh, Bilashi, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, The Luncheon, The Gift of the Magi are some of the classic examples of a short story. The essential elements of a successful short story are number 1 character, number 2 setting, number 3 plot, number 4 conflict, number 5 theme. Now let's have a brief tracing on the elements. Character. A character is a person or sometimes even an animal who or which takes part in the action of a short story to make it motivated. Setting. The setting of a short story is the time and place in which it happens. Authors often use descriptions of landscape, scenery, buildings, seasons, or weather to provide a strong sense of setting. Plot. A plot is a series of events and character sections that relate to the central conflict. Conflict. The conflict is a struggle between two people or things in a short story. The main character is usually on one side of the central conflict. On the other side, the main character may struggle against another important character, against the forces of nature, against society, or even against something inside himself or herself. Theme. The theme is the central idea or belief in a short story. Now, look at the synopsis of the short story. The Luncheon is an interesting as well as wonderful piece of short story written about a lady admirer who managed to get a luncheon from the writer at Fouet's, an expensive and fashionable restaurant in Paris. In flashback mode, 20 years ago, the lady had read a book of the writer and written to him praising it. The writer responded to the letter thanking her. The lady was very cunning. She knew that the writer couldn't turn down her proposal, for the writer was very young in age. So, very presently, she wrote another letter to the writer saying that she was passing through Paris and would like to have a chat with him, and asked him whether he would give her a little luncheon at Fouet's. The writer, being very young, couldn't refuse the lady's proposal and turned into the victim of her cunningness. With humor and irony, the writer describes the lady's lavish eating habit in this short story. The irony and humor the lady frequently adopted to fulfill her target was: I never eat anything for luncheon. I never eat more than one thing, etc. But she herself had too much costly items of food and drink, taking off different lame excuses. This is how she ordered and had salmon, caviar, champagne, asparagus, coffee, ice cream, and peaches one after another. The writer became ashamed and felt pale, thinking that whether he could pay the bill or not. When the writer paid the bill, he had only 3 francs left for the waiter to offer adjective. Thus the writer became penniless for the whole month. At the time of departure, the lady guest advised him to follow her example of not eating more than one thing for luncheon, and called him humorist, jumping into a cab. This was another ironical attack upon the writer for last time. However, the writer was not a vindictive man, but after 20 years, the writer saw the lady guest again at the play and came to know that she weighed 21 stone, that is 294 in pounds, for her greed and voracity. That's why the lady looked ugly and bulky and he couldn't recognize her. Thus the writer had his revenge at last, strongly believing that when the immortal gods take a hand in the matter, it is pardonable to observe the result with complacency. Finally, it is wonderfully depicted that overeating is a bad habit and nobody should eat lavishly, flattering others. The negative effects of overeating. Overeating is a disorder which not only affects physical health but also causes a lot of stress at the mental and emotional level. Some people tend to eat just because they feel bored or proud, and so they have nothing to do. Others get into such undesirable habits to improve their physical appearance. In fact, overeating causes multiple damages to various parts of the body. They are as follows: weight gain and obesity. This will put a lot of stress on the muscles as you need to carry the weight of your body. As a result, you will tend to feel tired, lazy, worried, and irritated. High cholesterol and high blood sugar. Excessive intake of food will gradually make your cholesterol and blood sugar high. It may also disrupt hunger regulation. It may cause excessive gas and bloating. It may impair brain function. It may make you nauseous. It may make you feel headaches, increased thirst, fatigue, or lethargy. It may cause diabetes, mother of all diseases. It may make you feel sleepy and gloomy. Organ like kidney, liver, stomach malfunctioning is another health risk due to overeating. People who overeat tend to create a bad mouth and body odor. Dear learners, now let us come to discuss the grammar we have in the story. Use of hardly or barely or scarcely. The three words are generally used to expose negative meaning, though they look affirmative. They have very similar meanings and we can use them almost interchangeably. Hardly or scarcely or barely mean the same as almost not, only just, and certainly not. So let's look at how we can use them. If you say, we hardly ever go to the cinema these days, it means that we almost never go to the cinema. Likewise, he could scarcely recognize me if someone mentioned my name. My salary is barely enough to keep body and soul together. Use of since. When since is used as a conjunction, it joins a main clause and a subordinate clause. Generally, since comes at the beginning of the subordinate clause. Namely, it was long since I had met my friend. Since the weather is rough, we have to cancel our class party. Here, since meaning reason oblique because oblique as. When since is used for talking about time, the verb in the main clause of a sentence is usually in the present perfect or past perfect tense, such as it hasn't rained since the end of January. Here, since is used as a preposition. Rahman had been composing music since he was 10. Here, since is used as a conjunction. The use of as though oblique as if. They both are conjunctions. We use them to make comparisons. They have a similar meaning. They are used to talk about an imaginary situation or a situation that may not be true, that is likely or possible. Namely, she proceeded as though she had not heard me. The boy acts as if he were a hero. Noted that when the main clause is in the present tense, we have to use past simple after as if or as though. Again, when the main clause is in the past simple, we have to use past perfect tense after as if or as though. to show unreal past situation in an informal style where is used instead of was in an unreal comparison. Apart from this, if the situation is true, we can use a real tense to express present time. Likewise, we can use past tense in both sides of as if or as though. For example, the boy looks as if he knows the answer of his teacher. Onyx seemed as if he hadn't slept for days. Moreover, as if and as though commonly follow the verb feel or look, such as she felt as if all her worries had gone. Dear viewers and learners, no more today. Thank you all for hearing and watching me. Stay home, stay safe and sound. Allah Hafiz.